Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Omar Hamada, who spent 25 years in medicine, 15 years in the Army, 10 of which were with Special Forces. And as I understand it, he was a flight surgeon. Dr. Hamada, thank you so much for joining me. Now, I want to kind of go in back with your past and your record of service, everything that's been happening with Afghanistan. Of course, the president yesterday said that the evacuation was an extraordinary success. I have to get your response on that. Do you consider what you saw the past couple of weeks to be an extraordinary success?
An abject failure is what he should have said.
Yeah, abject failure. I think that's probably how those 13 families that were welcoming the flag draped coffins coming in at Dover. I think that's pretty much how they would describe it. The number of refugees, the number of people, special interest, special immigrants visas that were not processed, even American citizens that had paperwork that would receive texts from the State Department, the embassy through the State Department, who were telling them stay home or stay where you are, shelter in place, don't try to make it to the airport. One of the big reasons they weren't able to get there was because of the direction of the State Department and Taliban checkpoints. So don't you think that makes it even more incumbent for some kind of rescue, something to happen to get the rest of these Americans out?
Definitely. And, it's inexcusable, Dana, that would have happened. I mean, on two parts. Number one, the Taliban had offered our government full control of Kabul as well as the airport. And we turned it down. We basically said, we don't need full control. We just need the airport. We don't need Kabul. And because of that, 13 Marines died and other Afghan allies and U.S. citizens were not able to approach the airport. Number two was that the DOD did not allow them to even get into the airport. Gates were welded shut. I have friends and colleagues that are there on the ground that I'm in contact with and being told that they even had buses of women coming in, begging to be let in, American citizens showing their passports, and the DOD, the State Department, would not let them in. The gates have been welded shut. They were not allowed to get into the airport.
That's so incredibly sad. And now who knows what we would even be able to do. I had a friend that was there with the Operation Pineapple Express, getting some of those interpreters and those informants out, and they were wheels up. I think, if I understand it correctly, I think they were wheels up late Sunday night to try to get out, because at that point, Taliban, there was video of them getting into the areas at the Hamid Karzai airport there where our soldiers had been just hours, maybe an hour before. Incredibly bad. Your thoughts on what's going to happen? Because you had said in an interview I read with you, you had said, "Oh yeah, the Taliban's going to have this. This is all going to be taken over and done by Sunday. It's not even going to go to the 31st." And you were correct on that. So what happens now? What's next for Afghanistan?
It could go either one of two ways. The Taliban is a known quantity. We know who they are. We know what they have done. We know what they can do. So the ball is in their court. They have full positive control of the country. And they're going to have to make the decision, are they going to continue being radical Islamic terrorists that rule by the butt of a gun or the barrel of a gun through violence and fear? Or are they going to be, Miley calls them our partners now, and I don't agree with that. But, the battlefield changes. And I mean, at one point, Germany was our enemy. Now they're our ally. Russia used to be our ally. Now they're not. So things change. But if the Taliban decides that they want to actually be civilized and have a government that works for the people, with secure freedom that they are able to deliver, then fantastic. But hopefully they choose that and they don't choose to be what they have been.